Hey, what's up folks at home? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got an exciting video. We are going to head underwater. We're going to talk about finesse swim baits and regular swim baits in the late summer, early fall transition when fish come back into shallow water. Now, the swim baits are fantastic this time of year because bait fish and bass move back shallow in high numbers. Small swim baits, big swim baits, all of them are going to play. They all do different things, but the key here is I want to mimic bait fish because the fall is all about the bait fish, friends. So when we have that turnover start to happen, fish come back in from deep because they literally can't be out there. The oxygen content is gone. So when that vegetation starts to die, those fish are going to move in shallow in droves and hundreds. Now here we're up under the dock. We've got a ton of bass, a ton of bluegill, and what these predator fish are eating are small tiny bait fish, perch, young of the year bluegill, all the pin minnows. All of these things move up shallow, and it's very cover related, very cover related in terms of structure. You're not going to fish a lot of structure up shallow. You're going to fish docks, you're going to fish weed patches and clumps, and the fish are literally going to stack on one or two things. On a line of docks, they might be on one. On a line of rocks and lily pads, they might be on 5 or 6 pads grouped together. So whenever I'm looking for fish, I'm going to start out. Here is a Rage Swimmer 2.5 on a crappie jig, and it's a 16th ounce crappie jig, and this is what I'm going to start out with because literally this is what fish are eating this time of year. The bait fish tend to be small. The bites are going to be they're going to slam it. But what you want to do is you want to fish this through cover exactly like you see here. Scattered bottom vegetation. Those fish sit down in those holes and ambush. There was one sitting in a hole right there. Literally, this small profile bait on a 16th ounce jig head, throw it out, reel it in, throw it out, reel it in. Because as you can see, these fish are literally everywhere up shallow. The second thing I like to throw up shallow here is that Wild Eye jig from Z-Man. And here is a Rage Grub. And I love to throw it this combination right here because I'm going to rip it through vegetation. This right here comes through vegetation great, and it looks like a young of the year perch. Let it fall to the bottom, rip it through. One of the best ways to get bit in ultra clear water and scattered vegetation like this because it looks like a perch in the water. If you see a baby perch in the water or a young of the year perch, a fingerling, this is what it's really going to look like. The color is great, everything. Now, as we get a little bit deeper or a little bit more scattered vegetation, the Megabass Hazedong Shad in 3.5 is great. This is on an owner flashy swimmer here. This is the Cadillac of swim baits. It's very subtle, has a very real profile. I love an owner flashy swimmer simply because it gives that extra flash and vibration. If fish are schooling, this is what I'm going to throw because that flash and vibration gives it an extra oomph on it, if you will. It just is a good looking bait and a good looking profile to throw through scattered vegetation and clumps. I like the Wasagi color here. It looks superior. It very much looks like a baby bass, and that owner flashy swimmer literally comes through all cover. You name it, it'll come through it. The good thing about this bait is it's got a good vertical profile on it, and it's got that two-tone color scheme that really helps bass cue in on it. Now, if I'm looking at more active fish, I'm going to throw a more active bait. So here is a Berkley Hollow Body Swimmer, and this is a 5-inch bait or a 4-inch bait. Both work this time of the year. The 4 probably gets the nod, but what this is a very active bait. I like to throw it on an 1/8 ounce swim bait rig here, and I throw this bait when the fish are far more active because it's got a huge roll and wobble on it, or I throw it when the water is a little bit more off colored. I like this Lexi Shad color the best. It's a very clean looking color pattern. It just does a great job getting bit for me. This is one of my favorites to throw in the middle of the water column. If fish are staggered in the middle of the column, that hollow body swimmer is going to do great. Here's a gold standard, a 3.5 Kitech. I like to cut it down a little bit this time of the year to give it that smaller profile. It's on a 3/8 ounce Matt Allen head right here from Dirty Jigs. Perfect swim bait. It's got a good rock and body roll. I like the 3.8 this time of the year. You can see it's got that nice shimmy, kind of like the Mag Draft. The fish love it. They come after it. And what you're doing is you're literally fishing this bait over top of weeds just like that. The fish are going to come up out of the weeds. They're going to hit it. It's just one of those things that does a really really good job of getting bites this time of year when the swim bait bite is superior. And moving into this transition period, you're going to have to cover a lot of water. Nothing covers water as good as a swim bait. Another option here, you have the Storm Arashi minnow, and this minnow, I can't say enough about it. I really like it. The Owner Flashy Swimmer, also another strong entrant. The Largo Shad here does a great job coming through stuff, giving a nice body and head roll. And as you can see here, most of the fish, there's a big bass right there on top of the weeds. Most of the time they're going to be in inches of water, and they're going to be in scattered vegetation like this, eating minnows and baitfish. I'm not throwing bottom contact baits this time of the year, hardly at all. I'm throwing really light swim baits over the top of grass patches because they're going to be living in that mid-column section. Largo Shad is another good option as you're getting bigger. Here's the 4.5-inch Largo Shad. It's got a good body roll, as you can see. Nice aggressive tail kick. Does a great job coming through these vegetation patches. More fish everywhere you're looking. And finally, here is the Zoom 6.5-inch hollow body swimmer. If I'm around big fish or I'm looking for a kicker bite, this is the swim bait that I'm going to throw. I've got a ton of confidence in this right here. It's on a 3/8 ounce jig right here. You burn this over the top, it's not going to blow out. It's going to literally look like a large gizzard shad. I love these in the morning over top of the grass flats because the gizzard shad will come in that time of year and really stack up for you to target them. And this does a great job looking like a gizzard shad, but not being an overwhelming profile. And it's got a nice lively action on it. It's a great way to get bit. It's just something that I trust and really enjoy throwing this time of the year especially. It's going to excel in these situations over top of grass patches. So guys, remember, fish are going to move in shallow this time of the year. They're going to be targeting minnows. So throw minnow baits, swim baits are key. I hope you guys liked today's video. Hope you are enjoying the channel. If you are, give us a like, subscribe. We got big things coming, lots of tournament vids coming up. We're moving into a great season of fishing, so love to see you guys out on the water. Give us a shout when you're out there. We've been running into a lot of you guys lately. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Give us a like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.